listening to, watching, hearing, smelling, tasting, and feeling sex, drugs, and skincare. Like and subscribe. Hi, welcome back to Sex, Drugs, and Skincare. We've been talking the whole time. Where the fuck were you?
We're having a conversation.
Yeah, we were having a convo. We were talking about the furniture, but
I think the audience should get here a little earlier.
I really think so too.
You guys should get here a little earlier so you can be a part of the conversation with us.
Yeah,
to recap
you're gonna have a better shot at parking if you get here a little earlier too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Or if you drive for Uber.
Oh, that's
if you
true.
drive Uber. Actually, that sucks. If you take an Uber, you'll get there. But if you drive Uber, you got to find parking. That sucks.
Oh, that's right. Well, that's the whole idea of taking an Uber, so you don't.
Oh,
have to
that's
find
right.
the
Yeah, so you're not driving.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Parking. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were talking about which I guess we'll talk more when Sarah comes over. We were talking about like some bad bombs, some comedy bombs, as you know. Oh, by the way, licensed comedian, stand-up esthetician Nikki Davis. This is my co-host Sandra Yocolano.
Avid dairy enthusiast. Yep.
Is that true?
Yeah, I like dairy.
You do like some dairy.
I only like ice cream. I don't like milk.
But you like cheese.
I like cheese. Cheese is good. But like milk itself, like drinking milk?
No,
I haven't done that in a long time. I don't think I will.
it's disgusting.
Yeah, I don't like that. But ice cream's good with me.
I do have a big ball of fresh mozzarella that I'm going to give you back at my house.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Yeah. We're dating, but we don't live together. But we live 2 blocks from each other.
But we share cheeses.
We do share cheeses.
We share cheeses.
Yeah.
Yeah. And constipation sometimes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And share. We also like share.
We share.
We also watch Share together.
We also share Bono.
We share Bono, which is no Bono.
No.
It's no good. No good.
What's your joke about?
The Mexican Bono, Bueno. He's no bueno. I'll be honest.
He's no bueno.
Bono is no bueno. He's good, but he's no bueno.
It's one of my favorite jokes.
Yeah, it's a silly joke,
bueno.
but it's hilarious. Some guy named Cher and Sonny and Cher.
Sonny and Cher.
Sonny Bueno.
Sonny Bueno.
Yeah.
So I've been growing out my hair, as you can tell.
I like it.
You like that?
Yeah. Wow. Like overnight almost.
Yeah. It was. I've been really. I don't know. I'm very lucky that I was blessed with so many fantastic ads from Instagram that wanted to sell me a piece of hair, and so I could take it off right now if I wanted and just swing it around.
But yeah, because you have the power to. You can do whatever you want. A lot of other people, they have to keep their hair on their head, and you're like, no, I don't fucking want this there. I'm going to take it off right now.
This is why I'm with him. He gets me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get her.
You've definitely you found the good in that situation.
Yeah. Why not? Plus, it's once in a while the ads that like the phones listen to you, and once in a while they get it right.
That's true. I feel like they get me right more often than not lately.
Although, how did they know what you were saying when you were crying hysterically?
I
want hair!
They fucking know.
No, they know. They listen. But,
I just was thinking about, I swear to God, I think that they can.
I did that yesterday.
Think.
I had
what did you think? Yeah.
I forgot the heck it was. Oh, I was like, oh man, I got to get cat food.
Dude, that's what happened to me.
And I had like my head, and then I look at my phone and it was something that like wasn't even, I'm like, wait, I almost got this.
And you didn't say it out loud.
No, nothing.
I did the exact same thing. I was like thinking I have to get cat food, but I never said it out loud. And then like within, I don't know if it was a couple hours, I got an ad for cat food.
Yeah.
And I had never ordered that cat food before. So
yeah, it's bizarre. I have no idea why.
They know there are brain algorithms, I guess.
I think they just know. What's is funny is like they're just kind of mapping out our they know our tendencies, I guess, and that's what gets the algorithm.
Okay.
So it makes sense that like they have like the thing they're working on. I guess not what they're working on, but there's like this the fantasy or like the sci-fi of like the quantum computer, which is basically like predicting people's lives based on what they do and how they are and who the family they have and everything.
Yeah.
So that's almost kind of like what's being done. People just predicting your behavior and your next moves, and that's kind of what AI is in itself.
Yeah, that is what AI is, isn't it?
So, but yeah, exactly. It's just taking all the information that's there, like all the information that we provided this computer, and now we're like, go ahead. Like we have terrible history as humans.
Yeah,
like
we don't have a good.
We pumped it all into the computer, so they think that that's what our lives are like. And so the randomness of it.
Well, AI is saying that like by a certain time that like
it's that's the way I pronounce it. Good.
It's very it's very it's a bleak future.
Yeah.
Based on what they've seen us do.
Yeah, well, I don't remember the whole thing about it, but it was like that I forget that robot, or not the robot, but the computer program that like they allowed just to like kind of do its own thing on Twitter, and it said like a bunch of anti-Semitic shit like right off the bat.
Oh my
It was like,
God.
oh my,
Who was he watching? The AI?
I don't know. He's probably watching Fox News or something.
Yeah, or the History Channel.
The History Channel, yeah, and they think that's what everything is.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's pretty crazy.
Focus on Sandro for a second. I feel like I have some orange stuck in my teeth, so just put it on him. Okay. I ate an orange today, but dang it, I ate it with the.
What are the odds that the orange is the same color that it is? I mean, they named it right. Like a tomato's not red. Oh, Sarah's trying to give you a hand.
Oh, like thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I thought we were recording it. I was like, oh, that's perfect. I can't see it. I can only feel it. It's weird. I think it's good. Yeah.
Is it the white pulp?
Yeah, because I ate. I've been eating these oranges. I eat the peel I eat it like an apple.
Ew. Oh.
But their peels are good. I love orange peels, but the ones that I've been eating are like, they're really good. And then in contrast with the juicy orange meat,
I know what you're talking about.
it's really delicious.
Yeah. Is it the orange meat where it's like the orange isn't super like juicy running down, but you bite into it and it's still good. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the orange peel that I get. Those
and it's
I
like
can
a thin
find.
peel. I can tell just by feeling it if the orange, if it's gonna, it's almost like a big.
Is it the navel one with like the James Edward Olmos face?
No.
Is that
Those
the one?
are the worst ones to eat, the peel, because the peel's too thick.
Yeah, because it's too thick. Okay. But that's the one with
His
the juicy
skin is
inside.
too thick, yeah.
Yeah, he's a great guy though. Nobody ever turned disadvantaged youths around like he did.
In every movie?
Every movie he did. Every movie, somehow there was a kid that he had to teach how to read. If
he ever got a chemical peel, I think his career would be over.
No. It's interesting we were talking about that. Like, there's certain people that just, they are who they are, right? And you're like, oh man, I'm so nitpicky about whatever. Like Steve Buscemi, if he ever fixed his teeth, he wouldn't be the same person.
No.
And he's just like, and I love him in everything he does.
He's just one click away from being attractive though, and that's what stops him is the teeth.
Yeah, that's what Ricky Gervais said about Steve Carell, why he's so funny, because he's almost attractive. So it's like that. It's like that's like the formula, I guess.
I wonder if that's what Ricky Gervais feels about himself, that he's just almost attractive.
Yeah, I think so. I think everybody feels that way.
That we're almost attractive?
Yeah, almost attractive.
Well, I think most comedians are almost attractive. Not all, because our guest is, she crossed the threshold of attractiveness.
Well, here's the thing. Humanity evolves, and back in the day, Fatty Barfunkel, whatever they had to name these actors, could look like a toadstool, because a lot of times like that's what was around was people that were, like blue collar, everyday people that were acting, they were also like doing other shit too. They were also plumbers while they were actors, and then they became actors,
so crazy.
But yeah, it's fucking cool.
Also,
I like it.
Every generation gets more attractive, especially women. So like, in 10 generations from now, everybody's going to be fucking hot. So
yeah, but not everybody.
Sorry, is that real? You're saying the whole population's getting hotter?
Yeah, absolutely, because we're all crossbreeding, right? And so, and not necessarily
spreading the
men.
genes.
Yeah, so it's like we're getting the best of all of the genes coming together. That's why you see more and more.
That's why athletes are getting more and more like the physical things people can do now is like incredible, and the amount of people that are physically gifted,
it's a lot more
out of
than
like
it was.
necessity. It was really important, so that's what kind of comes through.
Look around. I mean, every year I see like
look around. We're in Los Angeles. Look around.
It's definitely representative of the whole entire country.
Yeah, when you walk out of your house in Fort Wayne, Texas, look around. Look around at that tumbleweed.
Yeah, don't go to Arkansas. You can just pretty much assume that it's not going to be that. But I think they're all interbreeding with each other. I'm sorry if you're in Arkansas.
Every place.
That's it. I'm just sorry. You're
every
in Arkansas.
place. That's probably the best thing. Just apologize for them being in Arkansas. I think every place does the best they can with what they have, and you have to have the guy that's sometimes to run the town. And for whatever reason, that's just the way it is. And I don't even know what badoop doop means, but it just means
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It's whatever you think it is. But
I feel bad attacking the Arkansanians, whatever you call them. But
we've been talking too long, by the way.
Is that camera battery dead, or is it just the screen is It's okay?
Keep
okay,
going.
cool. All
Keep
right,
going.
cool.
What do you have to...
I just wanted to ask in case maybe I'm noticing
There's a wall
something.
here,
Yeah.
but you don't have to acknowledge the fourth one. So,
well, what if I just want? You know what?
I'm just. Who cares? I'm just joking.
I know. Shut up. Anyway, so if you're from Arkansas, I apologize for any prejudice against your teeth, but just have some. Just have some teeth.
Yeah.
I swear to God, every time I went to visit my dad, who was not from Arkansas, I felt like the weirdo that had the teeth. You know what I mean? It's always like, who's the blonde lady with the blonde bob and like clean clothes and teeth? Like, I just felt like all eyes were always on me, like at the gas station / most.
You don't smell like white bread.
Yeah,
you know,
pizza
like,
place.
Pizza. Oh yeah.
Their most popular pizza place was in a gas station.
Yeah,
where I lived, or I mean, where he lived. I never lived there.
Oh,
Jesus
wow.
Christ, my dad lived there.
So a lot of people just made those are the places where you go to Walmart and you buy a ton of shit, and then that's just what you have to eat. Is all the stuff you make there. It's home cooking, but it's like the worst ingredients.
Yeah, because they don't, especially because in the grocery stores
they don't care.
They don't
Okay,
care. But in the grocery stores that are in those faraway places, they can't have so much fresh stuff that's going to go bad. So they're not going to sell it. So they got all the shit that has the preservatives in it.
Yeah, for the most part, people who live out there, they don't really care. So it works for them.
Yeah,
and
Velveeta
they just do
is
their
a food
thing.
group.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Velveeta's fine, and you know it suits people's needs. Here, I just I need whatever the store next to me has. So it makes sense. Whatever was next to me, I would just buy. Yeah.
You eat a lot of avocados to offset the ice cream.
Yeah. That's the only vegetable I eat is avocado. No, actually lentils. I've been eating lentils.
I can make ice cream out of avocados, by the way.
You have?
Yeah, I have. That's right.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
it's really good.
Well, we should do that.
Okay.
All right. Guacamole ice cream?
I leave out the garlic.
It's so gross.
I know. Yeah. It's the only way I can eat them. But,
let's get to our guest.
All right. Let's do that.
I think we should do that because I love talking with you, but not anymore.
Yeah.
So
I get it. All right, cool. So we've had this guest before. We did talk about some trauma stuff and some of the stuff that she had gone through to get her body rid of some trauma. And she's recently taken a trip, which she will tell us about. I'm assuming also to rid herself of trauma. Is that why you take?
Yeah, it's not. Well, you're not supposed to call it a trip.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Okay. Well, I mean a vacation, like not a trip.
Oh, a trip.
Yeah.
So she took a trip.
She took a like a journey. Yes.
A trip to trip. Yeah. You don't want to do
a trippy trip.
That's a round trip. Bless you.
I always cough in the studio. What is in the air?
It's because it smells highly like weed. And
it smells like
literally high from smelling.
My eyes are unbelievably high right now, but it's also because we've been talking a bit.
That's
so,
true.
That'll happen.
All right, so let's bring her out. So I love her so much. She's so fucking funny. She's just putting out a special.
You know what? Let's not call it a special. I don't know what I'm doing with it.
It's a thing with comedy that she's
putting out something she doesn't know what she's doing.
I recorded a 40-minute show about ayahuasca.
Awesome.
I love this already. Cool. So yes, and that's what we're going to talk about.
That's a great title, by the way, as well.
40-minute show about ayahuasca.
I recorded a 40-minute show about ayahuasca.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Actually, that's quite funny.
I like that.
It's called plant medicine, and I did make a sign for it.
Oh, I love it.
It's like a whole thing. It was like a whole production.
Awesome.
All right, well, get over here and talk about it. All right, so can you come into the couch right now? Put your hands together for Sarah Lawrence. Yeah.
Action
claps.
Do you remember last time? I think you hit the mic.
I did. I immediately
broke it.
Also, you know what's funny? I just realized the last time I was here, I had also just gotten a Brazilian blowout. It looks like my hair is fucking immaculate every time I come here, but it's not normally.
Is it not?
No. So I went. I don't know when this is coming up, but
like
yesterday was Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And I went in to get my hair done. He's like, "Oh, what do you like? What's special you got tonight?" I was like, "Oh, no, but no. I'm just going home with a fucking beautifully blow-dried mane." Thanks for reminding me.
Even when you come to see me, though, isn't your hair like this?
Well, that's why I do it, so that it does this naturally. But I remembered, because I just remembered anyways. Looking in the mirror, I was like, okay.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, always looks good. You don't have a halo thing in your hair. That's all your hair, huh?
Yep. You know what? It's funny. When I started comedy, I had short brown hair, and so it's weird because everybody thinks that's what I look like, and I was like, no, I've had long blonde hair for fucking 20 years of my life. Had a midlife crisis, whatever. Cut all my hair off, and that's how you associate me with that other person who was like very sad, you know. But no, it's all grown back. Thank fuck. Finally,
yeah, it looks great, and I've run my fingers through your hair, and I never felt any tape or anything.
Cute.
I know.
any tape or anything.
We are seeing each other. I don't know if that's okay with you. You just found out. This is how you found out.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Are you blushing a little bit?
I'm just red.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is getting hotter
I'm very,
in here.
very high, by the way.
Are you?
Yeah.
When did you smoke?
Before the show, but then I also have a vaporizer pen.
Oh,
so it just
a vaporizer pen.
A vaporizer pen?
I basically like do like sometimes if I'm feeling stoned in like a pulsating way, it's like I'll get like red.
Okay, yeah. It just makes you, is it flushed?
Wow.
Flushed? Yeah, probably like a toilet.
I like the foot. This is good. She's comfortable.
Yeah, you know what?
2 times already getting comfortable.
I know. Fuck yeah. I'm glad you're comfortable. Be as comfortable as you want. You can just like.
We got to talk about some shit.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about some shit. All right. Do we want to start with what we were talking about with the bombing?
Sure.
All right. So. Let's each tell our worst bombing story. No?
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, it wasn't Saturday night, even though it was close second. But
okay.
My worst one was at the the Comedy Store La Jolla. I was coming off the back of like a fucking 5-day bender. I just like went out every single night. I don't know. This was when I had the short brown hair. I was going through a lot. I was just going out a lot, drinking a lot. I had to do like radio and TV that morning.
Oh my God.
And in order to get there on time, I left my house at like 2 a.m. and like drove down, slept in my car for 2 hours. I was like hungover and just an absolute piece of shit. And then had the show that night. And I think I just like hung out at my friend's house. I tried to sleep at like 3 p.m. Like couldn't sleep and like went to the show. I just like didn't know where I was. Get up and I'm hosting.
Oh man.
Get up first. And I'm just like saying things and I don't even know what I'm saying. And I didn't prepare anything. It was like one of those things where you get up on stage and you go, I didn't fucking prepare anything and I'm not good enough to do that. And I remember just silence. And then I just had a blank, just nothing. There was nothing in my head. And I wasn't, now I'm more comfortable on stage. I could be like, oh, this is fucking whatever. Look at the dumb whatever.
Yeah.
I remember seeing myself above myself, looking down on myself bombing. It was that bad. I had a fucking out of body experience just going, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. And then I just went like, this is when I forgot everything. I just went, and your neck, bring up your next comedian. And I just like brought her up out of nowhere. It was fucking horrible to the point where the lady who booked me called me the next day and was like, is everything okay?
Oh my God.
Yes. And then a close second on Saturday night. So I did Secretly Trashed on Friday, which is Monty Gear and Sam Mamaganji's show. I don't know how to say his last name. Mamaganji? Or it's like Memganji or something. Anyway, Secretly Trashed. It's at the Improv and there's 7 comedians and one of them is secretly trashed. And they basically get one comedian hammered. And I have said no to this show so many fucking times because I'm like, I'm a professional, sir. I will not be drinking. Nobody ever wants to be the trash comedian because whatever. And so this time I was like, you know what? I've been in Vietnam for 2 months. I go, let me do it. I'll do it.
You've been in Nam?
I've been in Nam, baby. I know what it's like. I'll get fucking smashed. And so it was to the point where Brian, the bartender, like I'm like sitting over here minding my own business with like a quarter of a beer left. And he sneaks out from behind the bar and just does the old switcheroo. And I just catch him making off back into the crowd. And I've just got a full beer in front of me. And I'm like, oh, fuck. And then, so I was just absolutely shithoused and then stayed out way too late and just wanted to die. And then it was like 8 p.m. and I was in bed still and I was just like texting and I'm like, oh, and they were like, you can call out if you want to. And I was like, I don't want alcohol to, then you got a problem.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
If you go like, if something gets in the way of the thing you were supposed to do, that's when you got a problem. Right. And I don't have a problem, but it was my job that night to get obliterated and I did a good job. I just was screaming at the audience like, do you know how hard this is? I don't remember any of the set, but I just listened to my audio recording and the whole audio recording is me screaming at them about how hard stand-up is and how you shouldn't do it when you're drunk. And then anyway,
not wrong. Yeah. And
then that Saturday night I went like, okay, well, I'm funny and I know that I am and I can get up there and I'll riff. I'll do some hot Vietnam material. And let me stress this. Nobody cares about my hot Vietnam stuff. Nobody cares. And I keep trying and there's this other bit I tried last night and they fucking hated me and this is what I was saying to you before was it's such an abrupt, like before I left I was crushing every show. I've been crushing every show from July to December, just on such a good wave and a good high. And I'm like, I'm funny. I'm a comedian. I'm supposed to be doing this, blah, blah. I go away for 2 months. I come back. I'm like, I think I should quit. This is so bad. I am so bad. Everybody hates me. This is not fun. I don't want to go up, and it's that shitty thing where it's like, and even like last night when I went up, I was saying, it's not like I didn't prepare. I like wrote this whole new thing. Granted, I wasn't like, but nobody cared about what I was talking about. And it was so obvious the difference between the comics who had gone previously and just like destroying this fucking bar show.
That's
and then,
the worst part.
Yeah.
And then you're like praying that the person after you bombs.
Buddy, because also the person who was before me, she didn't do great. She got him in the end, but she was not having a great set. And in my mind, I was like, wait till they get a load of me. Wait till I get up there and just absolutely have everyone on the floor. And then it was just silent to the point where I was like, I think I should just leave. Like what you said, where you just left the show.
Yeah, I just bolted. But I mean, people typically in bar shows, like if it's longer stuff, you can't get as much like attention. They don't want to pay attention. They want something that's like
they want quick, right?
They want quick only because like they're like, man, don't make me pay attention. They're still playing pool. Like they don't care. It's so
also there's ridiculous. Not enough time for you to get them to know that you're fun. Like when you're trying new material, I was like, well, I should do this other bit that I've already tried first because it's important to let them know that you're a professional and you're funny and you know what you're doing and they need to feel comfortable. But I went straight into this new stuff and
you're like, fuck it, it's a bar show.
Yeah, no. Anyway, so it's just like now I'm like, and on the way to the show, I sent my friends in this group thread a voice message and I was like, I'm back, baby. You're fucking this and that. Like talking about how much I was going to crush this set. Just ate the biggest dick of all time. And
that's comedy terms for not doing
You
that.
know what was the best? Do you know Josh Nelson?
Yes.
So
San Diego.
Perfect timing. I get off stage.
Oh, yeah.
He sends me a message. And it's a photo of me going, like this from the Secretly Trash show. Photoshopped a giant penis in my mouth. And I was like, is that actual footage from the show? He wasn't at the show. He just felt, he heard about it in the wavelength in the air about how fucking bad I did. And he photoshopped a giant dick in my mouth. Anyway.
That's amazing. What a good friend.
Anyway, it was
when
awesome.
I first moved here, I didn't know the term when people would say like eat a dick or whatever on stage. So there was this comic who, was a gay comic, right? And he goes, and I was just talking in passing, and I didn't even know the kid really, what. And he goes, I went over. He's like, I got home from work, and then I went over to Sal's, got on stage, sucked a cock, and then I fucking left. And I'm like, what? And I knew he didn't suck a dick on stage, but I was like, what does that mean? Like sucked a cock? Like he could do that. Maybe that's why. And then and then I just left, and I was like, oh, maybe he got kicked out for.
You're like, maybe he wasn't on a show.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't even. Yeah.
Usually say eat a dick, not suck a cock.
Yeah, exactly. So that's like another thing where it's like that's so specific.
You say like I ate a big plate of dicks.
Yeah. You would get that.
The biggest plate of dicks.
Yeah. Something genital related that you're like, oh god.
But usually it's eating it.
Eating it.
Yeah. I sucked a cock. You're like, okay.
I inserted a dick into my penis. No, not my penis.
Whoa, docking. Okay, docking.
Is that a real thing?
Yep. Penis and a penis with a foreskin, and you go like that, and that's docking. What's up?
Shut up.
Welcome.
I thought I just invented that.
That also means that somebody has to touch their penis, both penises.
Who?
It's not just like penis to penis, it's hand to penis.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that the two guys putting their penises together don't mind handling a penis.
I
think they're okay with it.
And I like that. It's old school and new school because it's circumcised and non-circumcised.
Yeah, it's cute.
It's an old school mentality.
So coming together of the two cultures.
The other one's not.
Yeah, one's a Mac and one's a PC.
Wait, couldn't you, if you were both hard, you could, couldn't you put, you could one, but they could both be uncircumcised.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
How?
Because none of you guys know about fucking foreskins, and it really bothers me. And I don't like how you give guys with foreskins shit over here. I really don't like it.
I used to have until my 20s.
You got rid of it in your 20s? It's so hot.
But
it's so hot to have the foreskin?
I was referring to my jacket, but yes.
Oh.
It's like putting. I know what you're saying. It's like putting one turtleneck inside of another.
If your turtleneck is receded, you could still do it.
Oh, okay, right.
In Reseda? If you had
in Reseda, no, it's actually in Chatsworth.
They do have a lot of them.
They do it in Chatsworth. Yeah. Porn jokes. That's where they film the porn. Chatsworth for all of our international listeners. To my mom, who's What's
Hi,
up?
Mom.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. That's what a chat's worth. Stop talking, just fuck. Yeah.
That's what
Got
a
it.
chat's worth.
It's a chat's worth. Thank you, Alex.
And we'll see you next week.
All right, guys.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.
We'll be right here.
Yeah, we'll be right here. Oh my God, this conversation got so good.
Yeah. So you didn't have a good set. That's what it was. It was literally talking about doing bad.
Bombing, so you were going to tell your worst story.
All right. Yes. Well, no, we're not going to do it now because we tricked you into telling yours. So.
Okay, cool,
no, I'm joking.
We're going to talk about politics.
A lot of
politics.
Politics.
Yeah. I can't even say it. That's how much I hate it.
Yeah, you pull out a dicks.
Politics.
Yeah,
Pilates dicks.
Yeah. Man.
All right, really fast. I was at the Ha. I had probably been doing stand-up for a year and a half or something. And they were like, all right, we're going to throw you up on the show because I was working there like for free. And so of course Terry and Jack were, they would sit in this chair where they would watch the comics sometimes, but not always. But it just happened to be a night when I was going up and doing a set, and I think I had 5 minutes, and I only had 5 minutes of material at that time. So I look and I'm like, all right, I'm going to just do some crowd work because I see this guy in the front row and he's like this. Right. And so I'm like, I love this guy. Like
his mouth is open.
His mouth is completely open,
yeah.
smiling. Oh yeah. If you're not, thank you. If you're not, whatever, you get it. If you're listening, not watching.
This guy had his mouth open, just staring at the stage.
Staring at the stage, but with his head up and with like a big,
looked like he was sucking
smile.
a dick.
Like
yes.
Like he was.
Yeah. But like he never closed his mouth, and I was like, this guy's so fucking excited he forgot to close his mouth, and then it was like a, like a little bit of a laugh. And I was like, no, you guys, seriously. He's like, and then the person next to him goes, he has brain damage.
Oh,
yeah.
And I was like, what?
Yeah. He still could be too excited not close his mouth.
Yeah. But nevertheless, I started to panic. And so I start drawing. I'm like, instead of moving away from it, I lean in harder. Yeah. And I'm like, so what happened? Why did you have this? Like, how am I going to make this funny?
He goes on his laptop to tell you.
Jesus. Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm going to die even just talking about it because I was so embarrassed. But then I just kept digging in. I'm like, so what happened? And he's like, well, he was in a bar and somebody hit him really hard in the face. Yeah. It just kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And the crowd turned on me completely.
Stop talking about him. What did they say? Like, did somebody yell something?
I don't know. I was just like, oh, like I could hear that in the audience. Oh, and I was trying so hard to bring it back.
That's an awkward situation. Sometimes I've been in those weird ones. That's fucking crazy.
I should have just like flipped it around and been like, yeah, okay, we'll talk about that next time anyway. So you guys blah, blah, blah. But, so then I look out and Terry and Jack are watching me and I'm just like going, oh my God, this is the worst day of my life. And then I try to do my material.
After that? Fuck, I know.
Nothing worked.
Whoa.
Not one joke, not one single joke got a laugh. Nothing. And I just was like, I have to finish my set. And so I got my big closer. I'm like talking about, Christians and Jesus and singing and awesome God. And you have to really commit to the bit and then nothing. Anyway, so that was awful.
That's good though. I mean, you'll remember that.
I will. Yeah.
Things won't be that bad ever again. Like that specifically. You know what I mean? So
no, and then I said to Greg Wilson, I go, I've never bombed that bad. And he goes, yes, you have.
He said every night I've seen you bomb that bad.
Yeah. So, and then I was like, wait, I didn't do that. But yeah, anyways.
That's what I'm kind of hoping about the Secretly Trash thing.
Yeah.
Because I've never been that drunk on stage and I would never be that drunk on stage.
No.
Right? Because I mean, I think I was very drunk at an open mic at the Comedy Store one time and I don't remember. And it was like one of those ones that's 3:00 in the morning. They pull your thing. And I was like, and I've been drinking all day. You know, when you first start comedy and you're drinking a lot.
Yeah. When you're an alcoholic.
And then you miss work. And but I will never be that drunk again.
No.
On stage. I would assume, unless I do the show again. But
yeah. I don't think I could ever. I can't have even a
There's
whole
no
drink.
point.
No, my timing is off. I forget what I'm doing. Yeah. I'm sweating.
I don't even have one sip of alcohol before I go
Me
up.
either. Nothing.
Ever.
Yeah, I've never had fun on stage drinking. I don't mind smoking weed. I'm being high. Yeah. I like that a lot. But drinking for some reason, like if I'm stoned and I have a drink, I feel like I'm not. It levels me out, and I'm like, well, I don't really like the way this alcohol feels.
The timing it just gets fucked up.
I have a friend he's like, if I even have one drink, I'm like mean. And so if somebody's like a dick in the crowd, instead of like handling it like, well, you get mean and you're like, fuck you kind of thing. And then the crowd turns on
fuck
you.
you, Dad. Yeah. It's obviously where it's coming from. Yeah. All right. What's your worst bomb?
Well, I guess so. Here's one of them. I went to. They're all worse in their own way. They're all like crappy. This one time I did walk off stage in a bar show. I was just like, "Fuck this, fuck you," and I walked off. Somebody was talking or whatever. But the weirdest time, which I wasn't doing well, was I was in a casino in Tahoe, like doing an improv show there. And it was awesome because it was the first time that I was doing a feature spot, which was 20 minutes or 25 minutes, whatever it was. Actually, no, it wasn't the first time, but it was like one of the first shows that I had done like that. But I'm up there, and this is the second time I've done this run, and I'm on stage and I'm not doing well. Casino crowds typically, I feel like I do much better now. Back then, I hated them because they really just kind of sucked.
Yeah.
If you're in a casino, I don't know why you'd want to go do
that club isn't really set up for comedy either.
No, none of
it's like a warehouse.
Casino show, yeah, typically casino, they paper the room, they give people tickets because they have to do something else to stay inside the casino. And in Tahoe there really is only the casino and going outside. Yeah. And and if it's snowing or whatever, isn't that too cold? But I'm not doing really well. I'm up there. I look over at the time. There's a clock on the thing, and I think it says, and I'm looking at it, and I thought it said 23 minutes and 14 seconds, something like that. And I went boom, and I just went into because I have 25 minutes, so I went into something quick, and I go, guys, your next, I'm like, thank you so much, and the host came up, almost kind of kind of shocked, and I was like, oh well, maybe he was maybe wasn't paying attention. And then as I walk off, I look at the host, and then I see the headliner in the audience. Oh, and I'm like, wait, why is he over there? And then I look at the clock, and it said 13 minutes. I had only been on stage for 13 minutes. God. And I was just like, oh my God, what the fuck? And he rushed from the back, and the host came up and gave some more time or whatever. He did some more time to cover in, and I walked back, and he's like, what happened? I'm like, dude, I don't know. I looked at the clock, and I wasn't doing well, so I think my brain just wanted to see a 20, see a 2, was going slower, but it was clearly a 1. Yeah. Oh, man. And there's no angle I could have looked at it where it would look like a 2. I just looked at it and saw 23, and I'm like, oh my God, it doesn't feel like 23 minutes, but I guess I haven't been doing very well. And I felt so, yeah, and I haven't been back since. I had a great rest of the set. But then they told the booker that the door guys were the people that worked behind the stage, said it wasn't a good idea to book me again. Okay. I don't understand. And the last sets were actually fun. I was having fun cutting loose. I took that set as don't take it so serious, Right. But yeah. So that one sucked. I had a near miss, and I'm only saying this because of the situation you were in, where you see somebody and it's the guy has brain damage, and you're like, oh fuck, and it's put you in such an awkward situation. I was at the Comedy Store once, and I said a joke about something, and I can't remember exactly what it was, but I think it was this woman yelled something out, and I go, yeah, that's what you think, or something like that, just joking, and whatever it was, the audience laughed, so I'm not sure if I put something together or whatever, but she goes, and I go, oh, do you need a drink? Do you need a lozenge or something like that? Because she was coughing. She goes, no, I have stage 4 cancer. And the audience went, ooh. And I went, oh, that's so weird because this club only has 3 stages. Oh man, that's so crazy. Why would you? And then I go, why would you bring that up? What? And then it was laugh? Yeah, they got to laugh because I put it back on her. Fuck. But it was kind of one of those moments. I'm like, oh fuck.
You weren't. Yeah. And why would you say that in the club?
Yeah, and that was, but it was reflex, but 3 years before that or whatever, I would have just been, or if I was drunk, like we were talking about, I would have been pissed off and maybe let it go there. Digging myself a hole, feeling so bad with this lady. But I was like, oh my God, you can't believe you said that. Damn. And she almost said it oh yeah. Yeah. And I was like, I get it, but oh my God.
So almost like she's bragging.
Yeah. Yeah. I have to go home now. Yeah. I have to go home with these shitty jokes.
Excuse me. Okay. All right. Well, let's now go to why this one?
Yeah.
To the right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Righty.
Okay, cool. Yeah, righty. Not righty tighty, lefty tighty. So when the last time I saw you was before I think I gave you a facial, and you were talking about did you go to Costa Rica?
Yes.
Okay. And I was so jealous because first of all, Costa Rica is beautiful, but you went there specifically to.
Okay, so there's a program called Elevate. So I was initially going to do this ayahuasca thing anyway, and then this opportunity came up. It's called Elevate. It's for business owners and entrepreneurs and stuff like this. And so I was like, oh, I don't want to like do ayahuasca and like come up with a business plan. I want to like, you know.
That's what you do coke for.
Right, exactly. I don't need to go to Costa Rica to do that.
Yeah.
So they were like, no, it's not like that. It's just a more intense, it's a week-long thing while you're there. Plus you have integration calls. It's like this whole, and it was very fucking intense. So instead of like, so when you go and you do it, it's very light and you're friends and whatever, but this was like very tailored to specific things. And actually today I just got accepted to level 2, which is even worse. And they were like, they go, yeah, you know, last time it was like very like, you know, sitting around the campfire and like sharing stories. He's like, it's not going to be like that. They write down all your triggers and they're going to fuck with you all week, basically. I don't know if I'm allowed to tell anyone this, but
wow, interesting.
Yeah. And so I was like, oh shit.
This sounds like Scientology a little bit.
No, it's just, it's trying to, so the difference between this place and like someone just like going, like I had a friend and he just like went to Santa Monica and did ayahuasca and he's like, I feel the same. And I'm like, yeah, bitch, because you're the same guy. You can't just like go and do this fucking crazy thing and put this stuff into your body without having an intention, without doing this, without like really studying what you want to get out of it. Like this guy was saying like, why do you want to come here? What do you want to get out of it? I was like, well, I did level 1. Like I want to do level 2. He's like, no, why are you here? What do you want? And I'm like, oh God. And you know what it was? Oh, and I started crying because I was like, well, you know, I want to like really level up my life. I want to level up. And he's like, I need more from you from that. And I was like, God, okay, well, my whole idea is like right now I'm single, right? And I have not been with the best people in my life. And so it occurred to me, it's my fault, right? And I was telling someone this the other day, like he was like, oh, every girl I've ever been with has cheated on me. And I was like, well, that's your fault. And he's like, you're victim blaming. I'm like, no, it's not. There's something inside of you that is attracting a cheater. I've never been cheated on, but I do attract shitty guys. And that's my fault because there's something inside of me that's attracting that, right? So at a certain point, you have to take ownership. I've had 10 boyfriends, 10 of them, you know, not all of them, but majority have been not great. That's my fault because I am allowing that into my life. Anyway, so I'm single now and I'm like, I want to stay single so I'm almost 38. I want to stay single until I thought like the magic number was like 40, but that seems too soon because I've got a lot of work to do. Not like I'm fucking crazy, but I'm just like having fun and I'm just like I've been in relationships for like majority of my life and I'm very fucking happy not having to answer to somebody, not having to like ask what for dinner and all that kind of stuff. So I'm like 40, 42, maybe 45 if you want to like stretch it, like you know, like I said, I've been in relationships for literally 20 years. Yeah. And so the ultimate thing that it came down to, like, why am I doing this level 2 is because I ultimately want to meet the guy who I'm going to meet who is on the same level as me, who has done the same work as me. We're not going to trigger each other. We're going to have done the work where we're not getting into fights. We're not getting into arguments, like stuff like that. And then I started crying on the phone. I go, I want to come to level 2 and do this work so that I have the opportunity to finally have a happy relationship with like the man of my dreams in a few years' time when I am ready and I've shed all of the bullshit.
That's a great reason.
Yeah. And that like was the culmination of the call, you know, because I'm like on the call going like, and then, you know, he asked the questions. I'm like, I want to have a happy relationship for once. Yeah. So yeah. What's the question?
I don't know.
So yeah, I'm going back. So
okay, yeah.
So I went over there. So they do all of these workshops. So you do ayahuasca 3 times. So you get there, you meet everyone, you do this stuff, blah, blah, blah. You do workshops during the day, which honestly, they helped me more than the drug, right?
The workshops?
The workshops. So there's like a reparenting workshop. I don't know if I'm allowed to like talk about it, but I'm sure.
I mean, that's just typical like
what
therapy
we'll
talk
like,
too.
When you're talking about something you don't want to talk about, we'll blur out your face.
Okay, and then, that's fair. But you got to do my face like whoa, like that.
Exactly.
Well. Okay,
and then we'll just switch right back to you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No one.
So yeah, you. I mean, we did this like so. One of my intentions going in was like heal the relationship with my dad, right? Because that's a lot of the reason why I have such shitty relationships with men, because the relationship with my dad, and I saw the relationship with my parents, and I went, oh, that's a normal relationship. No, they fucking suck together,
right?
That's what I saw for 20 years, and so that's what I did myself. And so one of my intentions going in was, all right, well, I want ayahuasca to help heal the relationship with my dad. Didn't need to do that within the journey or trip, as you're saying in quotations, because we did this reparenting workshop, which was so fucking powerful. And I've never experienced anything like it, where you have like two people sitting in front of you. You're my mom, you're my dad. And I fucking wrote a letter to my dad. And I'm just sitting here like telling you as though you're my dad, like reading this whole thing out. Like, why did you do this? What happened with this? You know, this is how I felt growing up, blah, 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 blah. And I'm sitting with these two people who are in the program too. I'm just fucking crying.
I was just going to say, you have to be sobbing.
But
I'm crying thinking about
my tits off to the point where the exercise had finished. Everybody was over here doing something else, and I was still on the bed crying, holding my dad.
Wow.
Because they go like, now lay or sit however you want to sit. And so this other guy was like, well, I never saw my parents hug, so I want to see you two hug. And he's crying, and he's, you know, the little boy who never got taken to the fucking soccer game, all this bullshit.
Yeah.
And so the exercise is done. I'm still on this bed in my like dad's shoulder, just crying into my dad's shoulder, like weeping, like going like, ah, like, and what the fuck? Wow. I mean, just so powerful. And so that all got out of my system before I had the chance to sit and surrender to the medicine, you know, right. And that's what they call it. They call it the medicine, which, yeah. you know. Anyway, so do you want me to like tell you what I saw?
Yes.
Okay, so it's a bit heavy. So three things, like I said. So
and you'd already been through one workshop, two workshops, three.
So it's over 7 days. I think you get there one day, you have the day off. Then the next day you go right into the first ceremony. Then the next day you have the second ceremony. Then you have a day off. Then you have the third ceremony. Then you integrate afterwards. Mm-hmm. So the first ceremony, I didn't really see too much. It was all just like, because I had that previous mushroom thing that I told you about, which gave me my career back, which I haven't bombed since I did the mushroom trip until now. But remember I said I did the mushrooms? Yeah. Anyway, so the first ceremony, it was literally, I was just like crying tears of gratefulness. Like, yes, you're a comedian, you're back. Like, this is what you're supposed to be doing. I was just very grateful to be there. That was kind of the whole crux of it. And so then when the second night came, I was like, I didn't really see anything. I was still like conscious of like where I was. Like I was thinking about like, oh, should I get the new iPhone? You know, I don't know if I want to upgrade to the USB-C cable, because I don't know if I get into an Uber, I won't be able to charge it. Like that's what I was thinking. Yeah. And I was like, I'm hungry because you're not supposed to eat before. And I was like, I fucking want some pizza. So I wasn't really in it.
Yeah.
And so then the second ceremony, I'm also like very aware that, and this is all going to be in the special, quote unspecial, whatever the fuck it's called, plant medicine. And I don't know how it's going to be. I think I'm just going to throw it on YouTube or something. So second night, I'm like, this is actually kind of weird. We're all wearing white. We're fucking all in Costa Rica. There's 40 of us. We're all taking drugs together in a room. It's like a dark room. There's a fucking shaman. Like, this is like kind of bullshit. Like, what the fuck are we doing? We're like going up to a fire and like we're writing our intention on a piece of paper, and we're like, you know, holding the intention dear, and then we're like throwing it in the fire, and it's like, fuck off. Like, it's not, this is no. Yeah. And so the second one I go in and I'm like, okay, well, maybe I've made a mistake here or whatever. And I'm laying there and like nothing's happening. And I'm going like, one of my intentions was like, there's like a pain in my heart. Sometimes I'm like, why do I have a pain in my heart? Like there's something weird in my heart. Like sometimes I get sad in my heart. I'm gonna cry. Yeah. So I'm laying there and I'm like, you know, last night was bullshit. What the fuck? Da da da. So out of nowhere, oh my God, I'm gonna cry. I get this image. Oh, I'm gonna cry.
I'm gonna try not to look at you empathetically.
Okay. So I get this image of when I'm 21. And I'm all alone in my apartment by myself. My roommate's not there. And I was having an abortion in my fucking house. So I had got pregnant from my boyfriend by accident, obviously. I had like been to this doctor, and she made me feel really bad. I was like, there's absolutely no way this is happening. Yeah, it was like fucked up. I was like, there's absolutely no way this is happening. There's not even 1% chance that this is happening. Like, I already know, like, I've never wanted kids. Like, this is like freaking me out. Like, and the lady was like, I want you to go away and think about this and come back in 2 weeks. And I was like, I don't have 2 weeks. Like, I'm like, this is like destroying my life. Like, I was so fucked up about it. Like, this sounds insane, but I was like punching my stomach and like doing sit-ups, and like, damn. I was drinking parsley tea, and I was had my alarm set every 4 hours to take vitamin C. I was like, this cannot be happening to me. There's no way this is happening to me. Like, I just, anyway, and my boyfriend was over. So it was a nightmare. So it finally comes time to do the thing. You can either have a surgical abortion or you take the pills, and they just say like, oh, the pills are it's like a heavy period. No, it's not. You're having an abortion, but you're awake. Like it's fucked. Nice. And so I take these pills. I'm like throwing up. I'm crying. I'm by myself. Also, it's like dusk. Like the worst time, like the sun, everything was so shitty. And so I throw up and I'm on the phone. Okay. So I'm in the journey now, right? So the journey, I'm in the bathroom. It's me. I'm in the bathroom and I remember this clear as day. And by the way, I had forgotten all of this.
This is a memory you're having now.
This is a memory. Reliving. I'm literally out of nowhere. I haven't thought about this in 20 years. I am in the bathroom. I am on the phone to the operator and I am saying, hey, I threw up the pill. Did it still work? And this is like quite graphic. I actually told somebody this and they were like, you shouldn't tell anyone this. But you have to pass a sack. So I like sat on the toilet and I was like, it felt the weirdest sensation I've ever felt. You pass the thing.
Yeah.
And the operator was like, you have to go into the toilet with a pen and you have to poke around in the fucking toilet bowl and you have to see if like it's in there. And I'm like, this is so fucking traumatizing. And I didn't even realize because it was 20 years ago. I'm fucking 21 years old. I blocked it out of my mind, I guess. Yeah. And I went through this whole scenario again. I relived it and I realized like, and I would do it again. Okay. But I was so like nonchalant about like abortion and stuff. And it was kind of like, you like kill the thing sort of. And, and I still think I'm is it pro-choice? Is that the one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still like, I'm pro-choice, but it was just like, it took me through all of these scenarios where I had like been with guys and I thought it was important for me. This is also like before, you've done any work on yourself and you don't realize your worth and whatever the fuck else. And I was like telling all these guys like, oh, if I get pregnant, like, don't worry about it. Like, I'll just get an abortion. Like, I don't want you to feel, I don't want you to feel uncomfortable. I know.
But that's just where you were at.
That's where you're at. And that's what it's like to be a woman. Welcome.
Yep.
And so it took me through all these scenarios where, I had been with people and to reassure the man that I was cool, I said these fucking things.
Girl, yeah.
Exactly. And I'm saying it so fucking nonchalantly. And it made me realize like this was a huge decision that you made and it's like fucked up.
Yeah.
And it sucked. And I saw this child, they were like, it's a girl. Oh my God. It was like so fucked. Yeah. So they're like, it was a girl. Like I named it. Like I saw it like go to school and shit. Like I saw it like go through its like whole life and it was like you chose your life over this like other person's life that would be like 15, 16-year-old person by now. And I like literally saw her like go to school. It was like so fucked. And so for like hours, I'm just like bawling my fucking eyes out to the point where like you're not supposed to disturb anyone when they're in their journey. And the girl next to me was like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah. Everyone's like silent there. They're all doing their own thing. But I was like bawling this like fucking visceral like pain that was like stuck in me that I had no idea about.
Yeah.
And hadn't thought about it. It was a blocked memory. And I had never actually grieved this thing that I did. And it was like, that's why you have this pain in your heart because whether you had the child or not, like you have a connection to this thing in your heart, right? Because they say like, if you have a kid and you're like an adult female, like you can, your mom goes like, is everything okay? Like I felt something.
Yeah.
You have a connection to this thing. And so I have a connection to this thing. And that's why my heart was hurting. And it was just like so insane, this experience that I had that I threw up and people are like, we spoke about it, like if people don't want to throw up, it's like, but I threw up that trauma or that memory or whatever, and that was the end of it. And so I had seen and literally relived this fucking horrible scenario that I had repressed. I had unlocked this thing in my heart. I had dealt with that, never dealt with it before.
Yeah.
And then you throw up and it just completed the process. And the throw up felt fucking incredible.
Wow.
It was just like a blurp, got it out. It wasn't horrible, you know. And then after that, the feeling that I experienced was, oh my God, this shit is like real.
Yeah.
This is not something that is like to, you know, be like, oh, this is fucking bullshit, blah, blah, blah. And so after that, it was very cool because I became like cognizant again. So instead of being on another planet or whatever, I was in the room and I was able to sit and I just watched the shaman for like 2 hours. Literally, like everyone's on the back and just going like, ah, I'm on my stomach, on my hands and knees, like looking, just watching him with utter glee. Like, this is so fucking sacred. I cannot explain how I just had the most incredible experience of all time. Wow. And it was so fucking unexpected and it was nothing to do with anything that I ever thought that would happen. And so after that moment, I was like, oh, now I understand why people pack up their shit and like move to Peru and like dedicate their life to this, because it's incredible. And yeah, for the rest of the time, I just went like, I was just in awe.
The fact that you can all do it in one room, though, and you guys are all having these incredibly amazing, sacred, traumatic experiences, but you're all together in the same room is really kind of, I don't know. It's wild that you can all do that, but you're okay with it.
Well, because everyone is so much in their own world that it doesn't really matter. And so afterwards, because when I stopped crying, I was like, oh, it's literally silent in here. And I was like, did anyone hear me crying? And everyone's like, no.
Wow.
So, and then someone was like, you know, coming over here and someone's yelling over there and someone's giggling over here. And it's like, you just kind of block it out. And the place where they do it, it's called Reunion in Costa Rica. It's very, I don't want to say like bougie, but it's not like, you know, this fucking guy in Santa Monica where everyone's like sitting on a chair and there's like a guy picking his nose next to you. Everybody has a mattress. Everybody is spaced like 3 feet apart. Everybody has a bucket. Everybody has toilet paper for their snot. Everybody, you know, you have a red light in case you feel unsafe or you need help. You grab the red light and you shine it and then fucking someone comes over and they help you. And there's at all times, there are helpers everywhere to facilitate anything you need. If you need to go to the bathroom, you're feeling uneasy, they will literally carry you to the bathroom. Like, I've never felt more safe doing it. And like, you know, going in, I was like, everyone's scared that they're like going to see a demon or whatever. And it's like, it's not like that at all. Now I have absolutely no qualms like going in again. Well, buddy, I tell you what, I can't believe that that's what happened. Considering like, I have a whole page of like, I want to heal the relationship with my brother. I want to heal the relationship with my dad. I want to find a man who's, you know, not a dickhead. And then Ayahuasca was like, bang, bitch, look at this. And I was like, what the fuck? Absolutely no. Yeah.
Wow.
And you went into it having kind of the mindset of maybe like, I don't know if this is anything.
Yeah.
So, not that you were checked out, but if you buy into it, it's almost like that thing where it's like, yeah, but I bought into it, so maybe I wanted it.
Exactly. And you just like made it up or whatever.
So now it's like, it really, wow. It's fascinating.
Yeah. It was wild.
Now you're making me want to do it.
I mean, you have to. It's like, that's the thing.
I checked into it and it was so expensive.
Where?
I think I looked, maybe I just typed in Costa Rica ayahuasca after we had talked.
It's very expensive there.
It's
expensive. But it's worth it.
Yeah, but it sounds like you're so well taken care of.
It's incredible.
You are safe to like let that
you're
stuff
so
go.
Fucking safe. They actually did I have a what do you call it? A testimonial video on their website. And I didn't even get to talk about the actual ayahuasca because I was just banging on about how good the facility was. Like, you know, they pick you up from the airport. All your meals are taken care of, and the meals are like fucking Michelin star, all like vegan, but then there's like some chicken in there. It's like everything is gorgeous, and you're on the ocean. And so, buddy, when you're doing it and you're in the temple and the temperature is perfect, and there's just like, you know, mosquito nets everywhere, and you can hear the ocean over here, and then you have the shaman like live music singing, and you're just like, I am literally, because one of my fears going in, I think I told you, was that I was going to get molested by a shaman, right? And so I'm thinking I'm going to be out of it, like on my back, and he's going to come over and honk my tits. And I literally thought that would happen. And I'm like, there's no way that would ever happen.
No.
You know, just the experience that I had was just completely opposite to what I thought.
That sounds amazing.
Buddy.
I think we should go.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds like very, intensive
and healing.
Yeah.
Yes,
so healing.
Definitely.
There's a place I can recommend that's closer. You don't have to go to all the way to Costa Rica and spend thousands of dollars. There's a place in Palm Springs that my friend just went to, which is very good. But so long as you're not just rolling in there at 5 o'clock, doing ayahuasca at 7 and then going home. It's like, I want you to take it seriously and do the work beforehand.
Yeah.
And it will be so much better for you, and that's why they're taking all of this extra time on this second round to really, really get in there so that by the time the ceremony comes around, you're like, okay, so I'm good with my dad. I don't need to see him, or if he comes in, fine. But you know what I mean?
It sounds like you went in layers. Like you went through that, the pre-parenting thing, and then the next layer underneath that you were able to cope with once that was removed. And you're like, all right, I don't have this thing laying on top of me.
I couldn't believe there was another exercise where you channel someone. I think I did it with my dad as well. So, so you sit here and nobody's sitting there. But you're talking to your dad.
Okay.
And so you tell your dad whatever you want to say. And then you shake it off and then you sit in that seat and then you're your dad. And then someone asks a question. They're like, how are we going to know? Like, so do we respond with like what we think they would say or what we want them to say? And the guy goes, you're not responding. I just got goosebumps. He goes, you're not responding. You're channeling them what they would say. And they're like, what? And I'm like, this is fucking bullshit. Buddy, when I tell you I said some shit that my dad was saying from me, I've never heard him say that before.
Is he passed?
No, he's down the road. Oh. No, I saw him at Christmas. But like when I sat in his seat and channeled him, the shit that came out of my mouth, I went, oh, I get it. I understand you now.
You were able to empathize with who he was in that time.
And the shit that I said as him, I never even like thought about. Just it was fucking wild. I did one with my ex too, and that was like crazy. Everything's fucking nuts. So I would recommend going to Costa Rica if you want like if you want to really level up. You know?
When you say it like that, you make me want to go really bad.
Is that the testimonial?
Buddy. And then when you come back, you're just like,
are you flying high? Are you just feeling really like loose?
You know what sucks is because I was away for so long, I've been away for 2 months and I haven't really had to deal with real world problems. And like my friend picked me up from the airport and she was like, this person's doing this and this person's doing that and I can't pay my rent and blah, blah, blah. And I was like this. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Yeah. I'm like, oh, the most thing I've had to deal with in the past 2 months is like, where should we eat this morning? Like just chilling hard. Yeah. But in that, I became unconscious in the sense that like, I'm not doing the work. Like I've just been on a call today for 3 hours doing all this shit. So it's like before I left and I was like doing really well in comedy, I was conscious of all of this shit. And then I got back and I was like, oh, I should probably kill myself because everything sucks. And it's so crazy how that mindset changes you. And even just like listening to this audiobook this morning kind of changed my perspective around. And I was like, okay, I need to start getting back into it because it only makes your life better.
What, like looking in like that?
Just the whole thing of, making sure you're not in a story, making sure you're not, being nice. Make sure, like today I'm just like, it felt so nice to just walk down the street and like normally I'm like avoiding eye contact and I'm like smiling at people and like I just have a lightness again, instead of like, this guy's gonna fucking screw me over and blah, 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 you know what I mean?
Is there more connection you see to someone like unconsciously? Okay.
Yes. Wait, what?
Oh, I'm saying like you don't even think about it, you just feel a connection to
because you realize like it's all one. Like on the third night, I kind of had this thing of like this is gonna sound nuts. You know what's good about me is that I know it sounds nuts, but then there are other people and they say it and they're like, oh my God. And you're like, you can't say it like that, But the thing is, even that's another thing. People are worried. They don't want to do it because they don't want to do it and then become like this guy, you know?
Yeah.
But you don't have to do that. But guess what? If you do, it doesn't fucking matter because you're up here. And if someone goes, hey, that guy Brian sucks, you think Brian gives a fuck? Brian's like, hey man, I appreciate you, coming to me and telling me that. It doesn't affect Brian, right? So it's like the worst thing that's going to happen to you is your life's going to get better.
That's the worst thing.
That's the worst thing.
I love that.
Yeah, so you come out of there and you're just like, we're all the same. We're all doing the same shit. That's what it was. I was like, oh my God, the medicine is in the trees. Like it's literally running through the trees. Like it's here for us to fix us, That was like a cool moment of like,
the trees are here to help us.
I mean, literally, where are we? Yeah. I mean, fuck off. We live on Earth. What are you talking about? Like, what is this? I just can't stop ruining this.
It's all connected though. That's the thing.
Yeah,
but like, think about this. There's a company that builds these nuts. There's a whole factory, and this guy's a millionaire, billionaire. Where, like, there's so much stuff, and it's like when you get down to there's a cool thing that this guy said, like, everything's rules. Again, you got to be careful because you don't want to sound like a hippie. But if you think about this, if all of this wasn't here, what would the rule? There's no rules, right? The etiquette of put your knife over here, that's not real, right? The driving on the left hand side of the road, that's not real. None of this stuff that we abide by is actually real. If you take it all away, what were we before?
Right.
And so that's like very interesting to think about. It just like, you just take a step out and it's so crazy because the shaman like had first done ayahuasca when he was like 11 years old. And you're just like, imagine having that perspective starting when you're 11 of just like, I can, and that's the other thing is like, by the way, I don't want to live in a cave and like just talk to you guys all day. I love you, but I like driving my car. I like, eating McDonald's, whatever the fuck. Yeah. But we don't
McDonald's
need that
in a cave.
Exactly. That would be fun.
Yeah.
But we're not supposed to be doing that. We're not supposed to be watching TV. So all these people who are, on the journey and like following the shaman around or whatever, they're doing what we are supposed to be doing, which is just fucking chilling.
Yeah.
They go and they do the ceremony and they help us and they fucking help me heal my dumb heart and all these 40 people in this room and everyone goes off and then they go back to their cave. They're not living in a cave, they have a hot shower and stuff, but they're just fucking chilling. They're not, posting and whatever the fuck else.
That sounds like a pretty cool life.
Swearing so much. It's like crazy. I met this girl. She was an Australian girl, which was cool. So she was like 21 and, well, I've got to do something, and so she studied like acting or something and she moved to New York and then she was 25 and she had an acting degree and she was like, I don't know if like I want to do this. And then she did ayahuasca one time and she went, right, I quit, see you later. And now she's been with them for like 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And just the coolest, that's the thing. She's not like, hey, what's up, bitch? She's like, hey, what's going on? Not annoying, but just like, they're so calm.
They want to bring you to like what your essence is.
Exactly.
Right?
Which is not fighting with your partner or doing this or doing that. It's not being reactive to emotions. It's just being at peace, and that's all that we all want is just to be at fucking peace, dude.
We all want the same things.
Yes, and when I did it, I was in the thing. I was like, I know my life's going to work out. I know this is going to happen. I was in such a cool mental state of like calmness and believing and knowing that just like everything is totally fine, and then being away for so long and coming back and I'm like, I fucking suck at comedy. I have to quit. This fucking sucks. Nobody likes me. All the rest of it. That's not fun. It's not fun to be in that space. It's much more fun to be over here happy.
Yeah.
So it just takes that mindset to get back into the audiobook, to get back into, hey, this is what I was doing before, to get back onto the calls around those people who have the same positive energy and stuff, not around the people who think everyone's out to get them or who are all that shit.
Well, you've lived most of your life, like the majority of your life, in the other space.
Exactly.
So it's natural that you would, even though you've come back, and then it's easy to slip back into it.
Yeah.
But you can see it. That's the cool thing.
Exactly. And I will never be the version of myself I was a year ago.
You see the difference. You can see like this is like the potential.
Dude, the crazy thing I think also about like women is like when we look back, it's so sad. Like the shit we've done and the shit we've accepted or think that we have to do, like warning the guy or like any of the shit we've done is so fucking sad. And I think we all have like been raised to have this low self-esteem of like, well, I don't even know, but But the shit that I have accepted in the past, I look back and I am literally a different person. And it's so sad to like look back at that version of me and be like, you let this guy say this to you or do this to you or treat you like this, and you just went, oh, this is cool because it's normal to me.
Well, yeah, it's normal to you.
It's normal.
And why is it normal? It's been normal because that's survival for you. You can't allow your parents to, you know, freak you out with their behavior or what they're telling you to do or things to accept. You just have to take it on yourself and be like, yeah, do it, because it's either that or I die, because they're my they're my caretakers.
Yeah.
And that is also why I do the work I do on the jaw, is because especially with women, so much we don't say, so much we accept, so much that we don't feel hurt on. And your jaw looks good, by the way.
Oh, I've been doing a lot.
Yeah?
I've been doing a lot. I just got M-Face.
What's that?
It's a electromagnetic stimulation. No, it's like
it like shakes it?
It's like a, like an electric thing. And I did it under here too. Because as you get older, obviously your face drops. And so then it just like gets your muscles going. Because you can work out your bicep, but you can't work out your whatever.
You can.
Well, you can. Yeah, but I don't want to. She's like, you
join my fucking Patreon, bitch.
These fucking things. But yeah, just a lot of like massage in here to really, really. And I've noticed, because when I was chewing before, my jaw would, every bite, my jaw would go ping, ping, ping. It was fucking crazy. And now I'm like looking in the mirror and I'm going, oh my God, it's not doing it anymore. It's
you sent me pictures where like one side of your jaw was like actually like built up.
Insane.
Yeah, this is right here. This is a frustration point. This is in Chinese medicine. It's a liver point. And all of our anger and frustration goes into the liver. And so it's all connected. It's pretty crazy. And I feel it more in women than I do in men, I will say. I mean, men do, they deal with their own shit too. But
you know what I just realized? What? Okay, this is nuts. This sounds like I'm lying. So when I was in the journey, the first night, so one of my intentions was to heal my body because I got weird injuries and whatever. And I remember at one point, I felt it, like you can feel it like moving like through you, and like kind of I felt it in my jaw. So you feel like a heat in your jaw, and then your jaw kind of like releases. And I remember it was like, turn onto your stomach. And so I turned on my stomach, and then I felt it like going up my thing. And like, I just realized, I was telling someone the other day, I had a shoulder injury. And I was like, I haven't felt it in a while. And I'm like, I don't know if I felt it since then, because it was like, turn on your stomach, and then it went like up and it did my shoulder and stuff.
Wow. It was because you're open, and then like the energy that you're calling in is able to like come up and go through you? I don't know,
dude. It's like literally a snake is in your body, and it just literally went to all the places, and then it's like turn around, and then it went like in, and you can feel it like moving through. And then literally when it went into my jaw, I went, release that shit, baby. Yeah. Wow. It's so crazy. I mean, you can't explain it. Yeah, you just have to do it. There's nothing to be scared of.
No, I've always been scared of it, because I feel like scary. I don't want to go into it with all this shit that I have in my head, because then I don't know, maybe because you can have a bad trip like on mushrooms or acid, like if you go in a bad place in your life, like it's easy to do that. So I always assume that, and also don't like throwing up. It's my least favorite thing to do.
Well, no one likes throwing. No one's like, oh, I get to throw up.
The purge. Sign
me up. Yeah. No, but also there was a guy there, and he had done it 100 times, never threw up.
Wow.
So you're not always going to throw up. I did it 3 times. On the first night, I went, I think I have to go to the toilet. I got up, I went to the toilet. It went fucking 8 seconds. I went back to my bed, fucking went to sleep. Done. Second night, I had that crazy experience. I threw up at the very end of it, a small piece, done. Third night, nothing. It's not like you can't. So this girl, everything I say, I don't know if I can say. I think she'd be fine if I shared it.
Her name is Stacy.
Her name is Stacy. She says it for. So she was next to me, and she the whole time was just going the whole time, and I was like, oh my God, she like can't get this thing out, but she also wasn't like fully surrendering. Then she finds out she has this memory. I don't know if I should say it. You can cut it cut from here. He looked at me like he doesn't want to cut it. You can cut it.
Do you want it to be cut?
He literally like doesn't want to. Let's just say I'll tell you guys later, but she basically almost drowned when she was 3. And so that was her like, she's like choking. She couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
Wow. And she remembered that. And that's why so exactly.
Wow.
Yes. And so I never wanted to do it because I was like, I didn't want to find out that I got molested when I was 5, right? Because then that's going to fuck my whole life up. But guess what? It's fucking your whole life up behind the scenes anyway.
Right. It's always running in the background.
So until you bring that shit up, you can't move on with your life.
Right. It's got to see air and sunlight.
Buddy, the
away.
amount of stuff we're just fucking keeping all of our shit in. And then that's when you get cancer.
Yes.
The brain is just like, it's the lock and the key. It's unbelievable.
Oh, that's a cool. I like that.
Like,
did you just think of that?
Yeah, I was just thinking. I was like, oh my god. Yeah, because
oh my god, smoke some more of that.
Fucking ridiculous. Like everything is there, but if you can't get in, but then it's just all.
But
linked.
it never leaves.
It never
it's always there, and your body stores.
They always fit. They're just not always aligned.
Right.
It's so fucking bizarre.
It is.
Wow, that's amazing.
I think we should go.
Yeah, we should leave. Let's go.
I think you should pay for it.
I'll send you the place in Palm Springs.
Okay,
it's very cool, and it's like $400 or something. It's
that's not bad.
It's
really
really
multiple day kind of a thing. Or?
It's always 2 ceremonies, I think. So we do 3, and then on this other one we're gonna do 4.
Oh, you're talking about the Costa Rica one?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going in July. So I'll have to come back in August and tell you about it. But we do 4, but you always do 2 just in case like the first one you're not like fully surrendered because like you're thinking about pizza or whatever. You know.
Well, we're gonna have you back afterwards if you want.
Yeah,
if you're down,
definitely.
I totally would love to hear more about this. It's I know this is sex, drugs, and skincare. Well, it's drugs, but also like it does affect.
It's care.
It's care. Yeah. Exactly. But it also like, I know.
Yeah, I can read.
You can read.
I read behind it.
But it affects how you look, how you feel, and all of that is so connected. And so I feel like it's all relevant. And even if it wasn't, fuck it. I like hearing about it. And I think other people are. Thank you so much for sharing. I know that wasn't easy. And the experience wasn't easy. And I almost started crying too. But
good thing you just left me to cry by myself.
No, didn't you see my eyes tearing up?
I did, yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, but I was afraid I was going to set you off more if I started crying because then you were going to be, sometimes when you empathize with somebody, they get like.
That's the other thing. You're not
vomiting.
supposed to like. So when you're sharing or when you're crying or whatever, your first instinct is to be like, are you okay? Like you reach out and you touch. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to let them go through their process. So you're supposed to just literally sit and just let you do it.
Wow.
So like when
just every time or during the
during the thing, but also I think that's a good rule in general because you just have to let them do the thing. You can't help them. Everyone always wants to help them, you know, but you just have to let them go through their thing and just sit and just listen and be there, you know. But when you go over and you hug, you're interrupting their purge. So
that's my initial response.
Me too.
When somebody does that is I want to help them.
Yeah.
I want to give them a place to do it. But and my body around them is probably distracting the process.
Sometimes I'll go over to help, but it's sometimes more selfish than anything because it's like
right.
Also, as a man, you're like, stop crying. Yeah, I don't know what to do.
Yeah. What's wrong with you?
How can I fix it?
Yeah.
I said
you were pretty
fixing
yesterday.
You did what?
I said you were pretty yesterday.
Yeah.
You've listened to me cry and not you just left space for me like in a car and many times actually, but where you just were just there. You were sitting there.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean,
sorry.
It's nice when you can cry and then just let it out and not have to like worry about the person next to you in a sense where they feel uncomfortable. It's like no, you just let it out. I want you to have your moment, and not worry about like how it's
my moment to shine.
Yeah.
So well, that's a good lesson.
That's so good.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't like that growing up.
No.
So it's like it's because most of it's wanting to because that's what my mom was. It is basically
right. Yeah.
Like, oh, hold on.
She wants to protect you always.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, and that's every mom. Well, not every mom. Not my mom, but you're. Sorry, Mom. She's never going to watch this, so I'm not too worried about it.
Just in case you're just listening and not watching, she's never going to listen to this.
Yeah. She might worry in her mind, but she's not going to come over it. Yeah, anyways, it doesn't matter. That's what the ayahuasca, we'll talk about that in Palm Springs.
There was this guy there, and he said that he's like this big macho guy, and he has like a little 4-year-old son or whatever, and every time his son would like cry, he'd be like, why are you crying? Like, stop crying. And he's like, I just realized like, no, like if you want to cry, buddy, you fucking cry. Like that's the whole thing is we're all being programmed. Like when you're little, like stop crying. Like why are you crying? Like stop crying. Like
stiffen up your lip.
I'll give you something to cry about.
Whoa. Okay. Mom, if you're listening to this, you're not. If you're what? Okay. That
statement?
I'm not good at comedy. Okay.
That's going in the teaser, by the way.
Good. No, but yeah, he was just like, I just realized like I need to let my son fucking cry. And it's like, yeah, dude. And I had a boyfriend. He was very uncomfortable with women crying. And so I didn't cry for like 2 years. And then after 2 years, after just fucking I lost my shit. And I was like, this is normal. You're not normal. This is okay. I am a human and I'm having human fucking emotions and I haven't cried for 2 fucking years because of you. And I was just like, this is like not okay. And that's what I'm saying. Like all of this stuff that I've gone through, I'm going to find the guy who just literally holds me, even though I just said don't to do that. But you know what I'm saying? Like just fucking holds me and doesn't say a word and just is there and is okay with it. And because it's fucking normal, and guess what, I'll be fine in 5 minutes.
Exactly.
You know, and that's also what guys don't understand is like, I don't need you to fix it. I don't need you to like tell me anything. I just need you to listen and go, that sucks.
Yes.
Dude, read Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. I read it when I was like 19, changed my whole life. It was like men and women are so fucking different. Like the opening like prologue is this lady's like pregnant and her husband's like, what can I get you? Can I do this? Can I do that? And da, 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 da. She's like, no. Then he goes to work and then she wants something. So instead of calling him, you know, she gets his brother or whatever because he was in the same room. And so the brother goes and does the thing. Man comes home and goes, well, why didn't you call me? So the man's pissed off at her because he's like, well, I'm the man. I'm supposed to be helping. And she's like, well, I didn't want to bother you. You're at work. And so now they're upset with each other. But she's like, I'm fucking pregnant. Like, I just want you to it doesn't matter. I just want you to just fucking listen. Just listen to me. You know, and he's trying to fix and just the opening prologue. Is it prologue?
I think so.
Just read that story. I would love to just sit and just read it to you guys right now. It's so powerful of just the difference between how he interpreted the situation and how she interpreted the situation. And he's the one who wrote the book, by the way. It's written by a man. It's written by that guy.
Right. Oh, okay.
And it was in that moment that he just went, whoa, she just needs me to just be here.
And she just needs to get what she needs, and it doesn't matter who gives
exactly.
Gives it to her.
Yeah. She thought she was trying to do the right thing. He thought he's trying to.
And that's where the love languages come in, right? Or is that the different one?
Love language is a different thing, but it's literally just how men think and how women think.
Yeah.
And it's so fucking different. It's insane.
Yeah.
And I love being a girl and being able to talk. I was talking the other night. I was out with 2 girlfriends at dinner, and I was like, I fucking love this. Like, it's so cool to like be able to like talk about this stuff, and it's okay, and where we can share. And what did you do today? And what did you do? And how do you feel? And I'm like, I used to hate being a girl, which is a part of the whole programming society bullshit. I'm like, oh, I wish I was a guy. Fucking, you know, all the rest of it. But it's like guys also are trying their best, but it's like what do you guys talk about? You're just like, oh, just fucking say the game. It's like, what do you never talk about anything,
of men.
You know? And that I'm like that.
It is a lot of distractions or just things to occupy time. Yeah, people get into sports really, really hardcore, like statistics. I'm like, oh my god,
statistics are so exciting.
Yeah.
My
friend said something about men do things side by side. And women do things facing each other.
Oh,
and I was like, whoa. So we sit and we talk. Mm-hmm. Men watch the game or they watch the thing or they, you know.
It's interesting too because I have a cousin who he's a car salesman, used car salesman. So, you know, he's like, he pays attention to people and also is kind of smarmy. But he says that when he's showing somebody a car, he stands across from them because he stands next to them. Because if you're across from them, it's adversarial.
Right.
If you're next to them, you're on the same side. So I wonder if like women don't probably see that. Men just see something across from them being like adversary. Yeah. Like
even if you're not conscious of it.
Right.
Yeah.
There's
something there where you're like, maybe your stance is a little more, you know.
Well,
it's bizarre. But
some of the best conversations I've had with you and other males
across the table.
No, they've been they've been in a car because you're both facing forward and you're able to open up without like that, you know.
Right. And depending on who's driving, you know, you're not going to be able to get too angry because they're still driving and they don't want to die either.
No, you're parked.
So, yeah,
you're parked.
Yeah, definitely. Well,
You're not going down the 101. Just fucking, how's your mom?
Sometimes there's this conversation, but definitely when we're parked, those are the ones that we, just staring off nowhere and then kind of turning your head. And then the peripheral, you don't see somebody completely all the time. So, you know what I mean? There is like that thing of like, oh, there are a person, but they're not like, right in front of my face constantly. So you see them differently, even literally see them differently.
I wonder if that's why they have bars with bar stools that are side by side so that people can get out their troubles without having to look at each other. They're obviously there.
Well, it's also because there's a bar. Like, they can't make the bar they can't have several different bars.
All right, fine.
Is that why people in the diner, when they sit up at the bar, they're always crying and eating eggs? That's what it is.
They're crying because they're at Norm's.
They're crying. Yeah, exactly. They're crying because they now they know why the eggs are $6.
Eggs are $6. That's cheap.
Well, I mean, if you buy a breakfast for $6, that's like
that's not too bad.
No, it's not bad, but it probably can't be good.
Oh.
I think like certain restaurants, like there's corn syrup in the water.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Fillers.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've been going on a little over, and thank you, Alex, for letting us ramble.
There's gonna be like a part 3 and a part 4 too. All of
Fuck yeah, I love that.
Yeah, because there's gonna be I would hope you guys go first, but there's gonna be a part 3 when you guys go, and then there'll be a part 4 when I go next. But I think you guys honestly actually should go.
The pressure's on. We got to do that.
You have 3 months: March, April, May, June.
Yeah, in the
4
same
months.
room, or would you do it in separate rooms?
No, they say. You're supposed to go separately because you don't, if you hear him crying, you don't want to be like, oh my God, I hope he's okay, because that's interfering with your own journey.
Right.
So it's better for you to go separate.
Okay.
But, if you want to go, just make sure you're sitting across the room from each other. Don't sit next to each other.
Bullshit.
Well, it's it's like you can do whatever you want without thinking about your partner. Right. So that when we were over there was a couple of people were in a couple. Obviously, they're sitting, they're holding hands. It's like you can't fully let go and just do what you need to do.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Totally.
All right. Well, this has been so enlightening and hilarious, and that is what I love about you is the depth of everything that you're talking about, and you're so fucking funny. And so please watch your not special.
What did you call it? Put it up here.
I think it was.
I recorded this for 40 minutes.
Yeah, I recorded this. I recorded 40 minutes of me talking about ayahuasca.
That's
ayahuasca.
That's it. I recorded 40 minutes.
So, and if it's not called that, it will also be.
It's called plant medicine.
Plant medicine.
And is there a place where you'll be releasing it?
I think I'm just gonna put it on YouTube because it was kind of shot a bit funky. So I don't think it's I don't want to try to sell it to anyone. Also, the material was literally, I did it in 3 weeks.
Oh, okay.
So that's insane.
It looks really good. Wait, is that the stuff you've been posting on Instagram or no?
One of them, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But no, the one I'm wearing all white.
Okay, yeah.
Themed. So yeah, I'm gonna be posting clips on my Instagram, but the full thing will be on YouTube.
How do people find you on Instagram?
The Sarah Lawrence.
That's easy.
LAW?
Yes.
And SARAH.
Yeah, the Sarah Lawrence with an H. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All righty.
Yeah.
How you feel?
Good. That was really. Thanks again for sharing. That was I
was so excited when I was like, oh, she's coming in. So fucking great. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, thank you again so much. I love you so much.
Love you.
You're the best.
Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. And tune in. This will probably be out next week on Wednesday.
Sweet.
Yeah. So, because I'm behind and I don't have any in the bank right now. So that's it. So we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao.